In the world of Dune, set in a futuristic era shaped by intergalactic exploration, a feudal economic structure has made a comeback. At the helm of this galaxy stands Padishah Emperor Shaddam IV, whose authority is shared with the Lanzaret Assembly and the sprawling conglomerate known as Combine Hunted Ober Advancer Mercantiles. This corporation is collectively owned by noble houses, which carve up the galaxy into fiefdoms, each governing a principal planet and reaping the economic rewards of its industries. Central to this intricate system is melange, affectionately dubbed spice, a potent substance serving as dual roles as both a recreational hallucinogen and a life-extending elixir with an array of health benefits. Additionally, spice serves as a crucial ingredient in the production of various goods. The entire economic engine of Dune hinges upon spice, with control over its trade representing the swiftest route to acquiring political influence and economic affluence.
Dune, Part 1 commences with House Atreides assuming governance of Arrakis, a desert world concealing valuable spice reservoirs beneath its harsh terrain. Water scarcity prevails, and the colossal sandworms that traverse the vast deserts pose threats to all life forms. The planet is inhabited by the Fremen, indigenous people who have adapted to the dry environment and revere the sandworms as deities. Throughout generations, Arrakis has functioned as a feudal colony, primarily focused on spice production, fueling perpetual tensions between the Fremen and the ruling houses, aided by the intergalactic military force known as the Sardaukar. Duke Leto Atreides, alongside his family, embarks on the oversight of Arrakis' spice mining operations, aspiring to bring stability to the planet. However, decades of political intrigue and strife among various factions hinder his efforts, making peace appear unattainable. Despite the formidable challenges of life on Arrakis, the money-making prospects of the spice trade render the planet highly coveted. Leto's leadership is swiftly challenged by Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, head of a rival house displaced from Arrakis to make way for House Atreides. In his quest to reclaim power, Harkonnen incites discord on Arrakis through intimidation, bribery, and assassination attempts, culminating in a full-scale invasion with a mercenary army. Seizing control during the takeover, Harkonnen orchestrates Leto's passing, who valiantly attempts to eliminate the Baron while held captive, but ultimately falls short. The sole beacon of hope for House Atreides lies in the figure of Leto's son, Paul Atreides, who is widely regarded as a potential savior capable of rescuing Arrakis. Born to Leto and Lady Jessica, Paul possesses a unique blend of talents and lineage that have led various factions to hail him as their chosen leader. Paul's mother Jessica belongs to the Bene Gesserit, a clandestine sisterhood practicing ancient mind control and telekinetic techniques. Among their skills is the voice, a method enabling the speaker to hypnotize and manipulate others using specific vocal tones. Since childhood, Jessica has trained Paul in the ways of the Bene Gesserit, refining his abilities and molding him into a formidable individual. The Bene Gesserit have meticulously engineered their bloodline with the aspiration of producing the Kwisatz Haderach, a powerful male heir destined to transcend their practices. Paul's exceptional powers and royal lineage lead many to believe he is the chosen one foretold by prophecy. Additionally, the Fremen, under the leadership of Stilgar, anticipate the arrival of a savior. Their ancestral beliefs speak of a messianic figure who would emerge from distant lands to guide them toward peace and prosperity. Upon joining the Fremen at the conclusion of Part 1, Paul assumes the name Muad'Dib and embarks on a journey to fulfill the prophecy and unite the planet. While the marketing for Dune heavily emphasized Zendaya's role as the Fremen Princess Chani, her screen time in the initial film amounted to only a few dream sequences and a brief appearance in its concluding moments. However, her expanded cameo in Part 1 set the stage for her to emerge as a significant co-lead in Part 2. Paul initially encounters Chani through a series of visions while testing the boundaries of his Bene Gesserit abilities. Upon seeking refuge in the desert with Jessica and encountering the Fremen, she becomes one of his earliest acquaintances. Aligned with the prophecy-laden mythology of Dune, their innate metaphysical connection implies that they are integral to each other's destinies. Chani, possessing her own prowess as a skilled warrior and adept at surviving the harsh desert conditions, assumes the responsibility of guiding Paul and Jessica into Fremen society and instructing them in tribal customs. The blossoming romance between Chani and Paul holds the potential to serve as the catalyst for uniting the planet. At the conclusion of the initial film, Paul and Jessica flee the capital amid Harkonnen's brutal overthrow, finding themselves stranded in the desert. Encountering Stilgar and Chani, Paul embraces what he perceives as his destined role to lead the Fremen. Although met with skepticism from many tribe members, Paul earns their acceptance by triumphing in a deadly duel against one of their most formidable warriors. Following his victory, Chani leads a hopeful Paul and hesitant Jessica into the tribe's fold. Now, Paul must undergo training in Fremen combat techniques and engage in their religious customs, including the worship and mastery of the perilous Sandworms, to ultimately assume leadership within the tribe. Despite Harkonnen's continued control over the planet's governance and the aggressive resurgence of spice production, Paul gains access to an army capable of reclaiming Arrakis and fostering unity amidst the turmoil of war. However, the escalating political unrest prompts the Emperor to reconsider his previously hands-off approach and intervene directly to preserve the established order on Arrakis.
The script adeptly handles exposition without overly feeling like exposition, for the most part. However, it's worth noting that if you're not typically drawn to science fiction films, there may not be much to pique your interest in Dune. The novel's impact, particularly on creators like George Lucas, is significant. I mean, we're talking about a desert planet here, quite the hallmark. And to add to that, concepts like the voice in the Dune universe bear resemblance to what later became known as Jedi mind tricks, illustrating the profound influence of Herbert's work. Villeneuve's extensive ensemble cast effectively embodies Herbert's characters, who often serve as archetypes rather than fully fleshed out individuals. Timothée Chalamet effectively portrays Paul Atreides, initially leaning to his youthfulness before convincingly shedding it as his character embraces his inherent power and discovers his path. Oscar Isaac brings a sense of nobility to the role of Duke Leto, Paul's father, while Rebecca Ferguson strikes a balance between enigmatic and fierce as Jessica, Paul's mother. Zendaya shines as Chani, surpassing expectations in her portrayal. Additionally, Sharon Duncan Brewster delivers a commanding performance as the ecologist Kynes, a departure from the character's depiction in Herbert's novel. The standout feature of this film is undeniably the breathtaking beauty and meticulous attention to detail evident in the cinematography and visual effects. In the desert sequences, we are treated to stunning imagery of the sun rising and setting, capturing the interplay of light and shadow that accentuates the character's surroundings. Even in the scenes set on Atreides' home planet, every shot is meticulously composed, with Paul framed against the backdrop of rolling hills and vast expanses. The desert, similar to its namesake dunes, plays a pivotal role in the film. It's portrayed as vast, seemingly desolate, yet teeming with its own unique ecosystem. From the Sandworms inhabiting one area to the Fremen dwelling in another, the desert serves as both a backdrop and a character in its own right. Initially foreboding, the desert gradually reveals its allure as characters navigate its harsh terrain and adapt to its challenges, showcasing its complexity and allure once one learns to navigate its intricacies without succumbing instantly. As thanks for watching the whole video, here's a picture of a cute puppy. And if you have a movie or TV show that you want us to cover, just comment it down below. We'll make a video of it in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out our playlist for more recaps.